Okay,
Just wanted to mention, I'm sorry for keeping my camera off this evening. I was having connectivity issues right before I jumped on. So not being antisocial, you guys.
No, appreciate that, Zach. Sometimes that helps when the camera's not on to keep the flow. So that is just fine. Ready, Bonnie?
yep,
Okay, sounds good. Let's hit it. And if Tom joins, I'll promote him.
okay. Welcome to the Wednesday, May 1, 2024 meeting of the Cable Communications Commission. This meeting is being held remotely, and we intend to conduct this meeting similarly to one in-person meeting. To comply with the requirements of the Open Meetings Act, the Communications Director will call roll, and each voting member in remote attendance should answer present and include where they are calling in from, city and state. This information will also be included in the meeting minutes. Can we have do you want to do the roll now? Okay.
Be great. Bonnie Gabowitz,
Here from Pittsfield, Michigan.
David Pittman,
Present, Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Tom Wright. I do not see him in attendance. Zach Damon,
Hi, yes, good afternoon. Zach Damon, present, Ann Arbor, Michigan, Washtenaw County.
Tony Ramirez.
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Thank you, Tony. Okay, that covers that, Bonnie.
Okay, we'd like to approve the agenda for today. Could someone give a motion and then a second?
I'll move to approve. This is Zach.
Thank you,
Second.
Zach. Second?
I have a second on that motion.
Okay, David will be second. Thank you. We'd like to move along to approve the meeting minutes for February 7, 2024. Can we have a motion and a second?
I'll move to approve. This is Zach.
David
you,
Pittman, I
Zach.
would second the motion.
Okay, David is seconded. Thank you very much. This is an opportunity. Is this for me to read? Okay. This is an opportunity for persons to speak for up to 3 minutes. Public comment will be via telephone only. To speak during public comment, please call 1-877-853-5247. That's 877-853-5247, and enter meeting ID number 922-8058-3983. This information is also available on the published agenda in the public notices section of the city website. City staff will select callers that have raised their hand one by one using the last 3 digits of your phone number. In order to electronically raise your hand to indicate your desire to speak, please press *9 on your phone. You will hear an automated announcement that the host is allowing you to speak. When speaking, please move to a quiet area and mute any television or background sounds so that we may hear you clearly. Please state your name and address.
We'll give it a minute or two to see if there's anyone that calls in. If not, we can move to the CTN report after. Let's give it a minute or two.
I'm not coming through.
We can hear you, Tony.
Okay.
You're good. I don't think we have anyone, Bonnie, but we certainly could go back to that if in fact we get an indicator that we have a caller, and we could move back to public comment if needed.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is the CTN report given by Greg McDonald.
Okay, this is the CTM report for the quarter of January through March of 2024. And I'll go over the highlights. So we continued as we've been doing, our coverage of virtual and hybrid meetings. We also were doing coverage of the bicentennial program, some of the events that are being put on as part of the Ann Arbor Bicentennial by the city. And we covered about 6 of those. We made short little programs out of those, and those will continue to play throughout the year. And then we also covered a information session on the possible Sports Illustrated Conference Center, which I don't think that's going to be possible anymore. But it was very popular. A lot of people tuned in to watch that, as well as you'll see in the YouTube hits, it got a lot. We started a new program. It's called Greenlight, which is sort of a modification of a former program we did called Green Room that we used to do with the county, and now we're doing it. They modified the name. Now we're doing it with the Office of Sustainability for the city. So again, covering environmental issues and topics. We produced in this quarter, we produced our sort of annual programming with the Ann Arbor Film Festival called Let's Watch to introduce people to the film festival. We also covered a special Board of Education and superintendent candidates interviews that they held on a weekend. And then also we completed our winter sports coverage for the high school sports that we cover. Then we have the listing of the programming on the 3 main channels that we have our programming, our government, which is primarily the meeting coverage, and then we have our programs that we produce in-house, our FYI, our senior moments, and you can see a couple episodes of the new program of Greenlight. And then for our public access channel, we had 115 programs premiere on the public access channel. 113 programs were actually submitted during this time. Our community producers produced 17 programs, and there were 30 portable equipment reservations, 12 hotline studio reservations, and 5 main studio reservations. All of those numbers are a little bit up from where they had been. So things are getting a little more productive. Staff also did trainings in the editing with 2 attendees, and with the field equipment with 1, and a hotline studio with a couple more attendees. And then we had our educational channel where we had 111 programs premiere on the channel, including our high school sports coverage and Let's Watch program. There's also White House Chronicles and Saturday Morning Physics. And then we have a new program that launched with WCC that the community college is producing and giving to us. And in addition to all those, we had the Board of Education meetings that we cover. And then for our video on demand, we had 27,167 hits. And the top 3 programs each month, which you can see are a mixture of council meetings, that information session from the potential conference center, and the Miller Avenue Improvements Projects program. People were very interested in. And then at the last commission meeting, Commissioner Wright asked about getting a comparison of our YouTube hits for the previous quarter, October through December, with other access centers in Michigan. So I put that question out. A couple of our access websites that we communicate with other centers through, and I believe these were some of the responses that I got just in terms of the sort of a flat number for that period of time. And we sort of fall roughly in the middle of those numbers, but as a lot of the people who responded to it were saying was the number of YouTube hits they may get in any month or quarter can vary greatly depending on what programming they have going on during that period of time. But it is nice to see that we are kind of in line with a lot of the other centers in the area. And that is the CTN report for January through March.
Do we have any questions regarding the report? Okay, we can now move on to, there's no regular business this session. So this is now the time for the commission and staff to offer comments. And I'm going to invite Zach Damon to, I understand, Zach, you have some ideas of that you'd like to share with us.
Yeah, sure. One moment, folks, and thank you so much to Mr. McDonald for that report. I hope in the future, Greg, maybe you could just like share the screen so that maybe we could follow along to the report there. But very, very exciting to hear that report, and great job by the staff there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen really quick. Am I able to do that?
Zach, I think we'd have to queue that up. Greg, do you know? I'm the
Okay, no
owner,
problem.
so
Yeah,
you might
that's all right.
have to share that with me in advance.
Sure, no problem. I can
And
do that. I can do that next time. No problem.
okay.
So anyway, yeah, thank you so much, Chair Gabowitz, for this time, and thank you to fellow commissioners for allowing me to speak this afternoon. One of the things I just wanted to talk about, I had sent an email out a while back, just about kind of exploring the Cable Communications Commission, and how we could continue to collaborate between CTN of Ann Arbor. I definitely, think that it is, very important and crucial that we continue to actively uh, engage with them and support the operations of the city's PEG and access station entity, which is CTN. And so I did send some various ideas and initiative that I thought, could kind of enhance our collaboration and promote both the Cable Communications Commission and CTN Ann Arbor at the same time, while still helping both entities. And just to go over a couple of them with you to be brief, I thought, some different volunteer opportunities coming up, especially this summer. So kind of exploring the opportunities between the Cable Communications Commission members and us commissioners kind of volunteering more at CTN, such as, with their open house, or at other community events that are sort of organized by CTN of Ann Arbor or the city to be able to help promote the, public media center, so that others can continue to know about it and apply for the classes and the training. And then also consider forming maybe a volunteer committee within the commission to kind of coordinate those efforts and communicate with any CTN staff as they plan events so that our commission knows of those, and we can be present to help CTN. I mean, look, it's a pivotal time. All staff is busy. We're all busy. But at the same time, as commissioners, I think we can really provide a great service to CTN and help them with that. Next was kind of discussing maybe the opportunity of planning the CTN Carnival event. I know that they did this way back in the early 2000s, that I was a part of it, and during other times. So maybe, explore organizing that as a commission that could serve as a fun and engaging way to connect with the community, while again promoting both the Cable Communications Commission and CTN of Ann Arbor, but also encouraging you guys and all of us to volunteer at the CTN Art Fair booth. They always have a great booth at CTN, so kind of investigate maybe the option of commissioners volunteering to work at the CTN Art Fair booth with CTN staff and kind of providing, an opportunity to interact with the public and showcase not only the valuable work that we do as commissioners, helping to promote CTN, but also the great, physical media services that CTN offers. And then finally, explore different city events and having an info table there about our commission, and explore, kind of key city events that we think the Cable Communications Commission could set up an info table to share details about our commission, but also at the same time maybe distribute some information about CTN Ann Arbor and its programs and classes, so that it's not just up to the CTN bulletin board, and it's not just up to the MCM program, and it's not just up to, you know, the city communications manager or the CTN managers to get the word out, but we as commissioners are actively involved in that process as well. And I believe that by sort of, you know, being proactive and promoting both our commission and CTN, you know, we can kind of hopefully strengthen our community presence and mutually benefit from this in potential increased awareness and engagement. And so, you know, I'm just interested that to kind of hear thoughts and suggestions from other commissioners and other ideas that you may have, or other ideas that CTN staff may have, or other ideas that city staff may have, so that we can continue to build a strong partnership that amplifies, again, the impact of both the Cable Communications Commission and CTN Ann Arbor in our community. Thank you.
Any comments, questions for Zach? I'd like to add something. I have in past years helped out at the table at the art fair, and it was great fun. And I think it's a chance for the public to see the real faces of people who are involved in the studio, who's behind all the screens. And the other thought I have is that this, if we brought more attention to what the services are, I think it could help increase the interest in perhaps having workshops and using the studio and creating more programs by citizens. I think it needs to be advertised more. I think it's a gem for our city that we have this opportunity. But it sounds like that we would have to work with Greg on, first of all, coming up with some people who want to volunteer to do different things, and then how we can work with Greg and as to how you can initiate what you need from us, and how we can help you. So I think it would require some conversation and some specifics on who would be doing what to further these goals.
That sounds
Yes.
good, Bonnie. Sorry
was
if
just-
I was looking at an email that Melissa had sent me too, and I'm not sure if that pops up then for you to view when I was trying to find my email from Melissa, if you could see that or not. No, okay. Phew. I just really quickly, because she had sent me an email and Zach's email and some thoughts that she had, and I know David wanted to say something as well. So my apologies to interrupt there. I just wanted to note quickly on the art fair side of it that there was several circumstances as to the cost, and as also due to the location of where the CTN table was, that in the past few years, we have actually had staff and volunteers who are not at one specific location at the art fair anymore, that we've found it to be really helpful that we're roaming the art fair and getting a variety of interviews and attendees. But we definitely would love for anyone who was interested in volunteering in any capacity to reach out to Greg or myself directly, and we can work with CTN staff on that. So I just wanted to note specifically about the art fair. Go ahead,
Thank you,
David.
Lisa. I wasn't aware of that. I know you guys do typically roam and have a great presence around the city during the warmer months and all year round. But thanks for letting me know of that.
Yeah, and my thoughts were basically to echo Bonnie as well. First of all, thanks, Zach, for putting the advanced legwork into fleshing out these ideas a little bit. I think they will be really effective in increasing the kind of presence and awareness amongst the community. One of the thoughts I had as listening to Greg's presentation was that it would be really great to have more engagement in terms of programming amongst community groups and I think these suggestions would be really helpful in terms of generating the type of awareness that we need to stimulate some more activity in the community. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. And to Commissioner Pittman, thank you. I just want to echo too. I mean, I'm also open to, for instance, Greg, if like CTN knows of city events, but like you guys have to be on location somewhere else and can't get to a city event or something, maybe that's something where, you just do a quick ask to commissioners like, hey, could the cable commission, could you guys, maybe do a quick info table at this event for us, or what have you, and give us some flyers for the classes or flyers for becoming a community producer, and then it's kind of covering more ground, right? Because you guys can only be at so many places.
Sure, sure. And historically, commissioners have been participating in a lot of things that we do. It's just these last few years since COVID, things kind of clamped down a bit. So we haven't been as engaged in that way as we used to be. We used to always have commissioners working at the art fair booth, as Bonnie did, and many of our other commissioners, as well as the other idea that I don't know if you were thinking about this as well, would be if any commissioners that were interested in getting training in the facilities and then being available to help out on production work that either public members or staff are doing. It's another way to be involved, as well as to be able to spread the word while you're standing next to somebody operating a camera, and the person who comes in as a guest who doesn't really understand what is this place. And sometimes staff doesn't have they're being pulled in so many directions, they can't spend the 5 or 10 minutes to talk about what do we do here besides record an interview. So yeah, I think these are good ideas.
Thanks, Greg. And absolutely, I echo that sentiment as well. As commissioners, no pressure, but I hope we can get involved and be there to help other community producers and spread the word about our commission too, and what we do to work with CTN and all of that. So yeah, great point, Greg. Thank you.
So it looks like we can continue this conversation in going forward. We can look at opportunities and how we can integrate more participation. Thank you, Zach, for that. That was wonderful, and I'm glad you brought this up. Do we have any other topics to discuss that you want to share? Any information? Then it's time to ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do we need to vote on that?
The first and a second, that would be great.
Okay, could we have a motion to end this meeting?
I move to adjourn.
Okay,
All right.
David, you, and a second?
Yeah, this is Zach. I second that.
Thank you, Zach. And we are now adjourning this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.